Hello and welcome back to our 10th anniversary series, and we're going to be fighting this guy in the beginning part of this episode. Now, I'm a little bit worried about actually tackling this fellow because he does have some pretty, I'm going to say not so good units, but I'm worried mostly about the numbers. The numbers are the main thing that are going to cause us some problems. As you can see, I have scaled back my army just a little bit. The main reason why I've done this is because I was attempting to pursue a vassal with around 40 units earlier, and he was just a little bit faster than I was. He was moving at, I believe, 0.01 faster, and so I was never able to catch him, unfortunately, until I decided to get rid of some recruits, and then I was able to obviously do that. Now, what I've done is I've also bought a new helmet. There's a very good reason for this. This helmet is one of the most powerful helmets in the game, purely for the fact that it makes you look like a moose. That's it. That's the only reason. Yeah, that is also a reference to my original series as well, where I bought this helm and I started calling it the Moose Helm, and then it became like this huge thing. And yeah, indeed, it is a Moose Helm. So that's exactly what we're doing here, and we're going to be going in against this guy. All right, this is actually going to be kind of interesting because, as I say, he has a lot of units. If we are not going to be... Okay, wait a minute. This is actually pretty good. This is actually pretty good. I was thinking to myself, maybe we're going to get a really terrible battlefield layout, and then I was going to think to myself, oh, why did I bother doing this? This is terrible. This is awful. But no, it is actually okay, and I think I should be able to do some pretty nice work here. Oh yeah, I have done a couple of fights off screen as well, and I did actually end up having my horse become lame. So that is actually not very good, and that has made things a bit more uncomfortable for me, because now I am using a different horse, and this horse is a much slower version of the horse that we had before. The horse that we had before was a courser, and this is a step horse or something like that. It is far and away not as fast, so I'm going to be getting a lot less speed bonus, which is definitely going to make a bit of a difference to our killing potential, but overall, I think we should be fine. It's just a case of actually getting stuck in here and doing as much damage as we possibly can to these Nord warriors and various other higher tier units. The higher tier units do need to die quite fast because they're otherwise just going to tear apart our relatively low tier infantry. And that's where bad things happen. So the best thing I can do is pretty much just head on in, try to do as much damage as possible to these fellows, try and eliminate them as best I can, and just continue doing that. And look at that, I've actually leveled up. That's pretty nice. This guy is attempting to fight me. He's attempting to use thrown weapons. He actually... Wow, okay. We might have some issues. Actually, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let me just be a little bit careful here. Just gotta kill this guy. Oh wow, that's some... Oh, that is some massive damage. That is some massive damage. I gotta remember, you know, in Bannerlord you have 100 HP. In this, you have 45. You start with 45 HP, so it's really, really low, and you're gonna die a lot quicker to these kinds of attacks, because thrown weapons, crossbows, and things like that, at least early on, they can be very, very damaging. Surprisingly damaging, in actual fact. But... Oh, we lost a Swadian Knight. Okay. Yeah, that's not particularly good, but I can only hope that the amount of experience we're going to be gaining from this endeavor here, from this combat, is definitely going to make all the difference to our to the rest of our man-at-arms, and hopefully we're going to be getting at least 4 or 5 Swadian Knights from this. I can only hope. Let's cross our fingers and hope that that is indeed the case. If we don't, then this might not be even worth it, to be honest. Okay, can I move? Okay, whew, I was a bit worried there for a second. Okay, this is tricky. This is actually kind of tricky. Yeah, we're losing people right now. We're getting some more people coming in. That's actually good. That is actually good, but yeah, I can only hope that most of my people will just be knocked unconscious and not actually killed. You can see here we're losing a couple of man-at-arms as well. which is to be expected, of course. We're fighting in the river, which is really bad. I probably should have called my people back, shouldn't I? But I thought, hey, if I do that, it's going to stop them from attacking, and they're just going to get murdered from every single angle. As you can see, we did end up losing quite a few man-at-arms, and we lost one Swadian knight as well. But I'm wholeheartedly assuming that every single one of our units has now leveled up. And I'm talking, wow, really? Oh, okay. We didn't. We didn't level up as much as I thought. Okay. That is a bit disappointing. So, okay, now I have... See, now, this is the point. This is all useful. This is all useful information. This is all useful intelligence that we can then use to become just that little bit better as time goes on. Because we're going to realize that larger battles are not particularly worth doing. And that's just going to mean that, hey, you know what? We don't need to do this. Because I thought, hey, okay, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to try and fight this relatively strong enemy. And I'm going to see how it goes. And I was actually hoping that we would gain a pretty significant power advantage just from doing that, because we're either going to get a lot of resources, so in the case of renown and money in the form of loot, of course, I thought we might get a bunch of that, and that's going to be super nice for us to get. Or we might get a lot of experience, or all of the above. You know, we might get all of those things, which would be amazing. But it doesn't seem as though that was worth it in the end. Although maybe it would have been if I had just, you know, played things a little bit differently. Maybe we should have just done some hit and run attacks. Hit and run attacks can be very, very useful as you basically just go straight on in, do as much damage as possible, and then call your people back, and then rinse and repeat that particular process. And that could theoretically end up being a slightly better value strategy. But yeah, anyway, this is what the map is currently looking like at the moment. You can see here, there's basically not much going on. There's not a lot of movement whatsoever in regards to the factions themselves. And I'm partially thinking that what might be a nice idea is for me to purchase a weavery and dye works in Rivercheg. But the only reason why I would do that is to gain 1,000. I think it gives me 1,000 dinars every single week, I think, which could be pretty good to counterbalance a lot of the weekly costs. So I'm thinking that maybe that would be a nice idea. Going to go for some more intelligence right here now. And we're probably going to be going for... let me have a quick look here. Probably some more inventory management. I think inventory management is probably going to be really good for us. And then we're going to go for another point in Iron Flesh. Yes, I know. Probably not the best idea, because Iron Flesh is generally one of the weakest skills that you can put points in. But the only reason why I'm doing that is just purely for the fact that I don't want to die in one hit to some kind of headshot. That is pretty much the only reason. Alright, so let's just make our way over to Rivercheg, and we're going to do a little bit of something for the leader there. Ooh, Direm has been besieged. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on that. We need to keep a very, very close eye on that. And yeah, so we're going to have to do a little bit of something for the leader here, Boyar Mariga. He does not like me. So let me actually just have a look-see here, whether he actually does. Boyar Mariga, let's see. No, he actually... Wait a minute. I actually can't tell whether he likes me. I think it's okay. I think it's okay, actually. So let's go into the streets, and we will speak to the guildmaster, and then we'll actually see what's going on. Oh my, I have forgotten where the guildmaster... Oh no, never mind. Okay, whew, never mind. Okay, we're fine. I was actually about to say, yes, yeah, he does not like us. Okay, yeah, as I anticipated. Okay, so... what I would like to do... Oh, he's actually in the castle. Okay, fine. That's actually perfect. So I can go in here and I can speak to him. And then we can hopefully do a task for him or something like that. Do you have any tasks for me? There he has. Okay, there is a group of sea raiders nearby. Their bandit lair is right here. And we're going to be going ahead and doing that. Now, usually I would say that this is maybe not the best idea, because you want to try and increase the amount of raiders that you're going to see in the area. You, of course, do not want to be... Well, you don't want to have a limited amount of them. You want to have an unlimited amount of Sea Raiders, as much as you possibly can handle. Because in those kinds of cases, you want as many enemies to farm as you can. Because more of those equal more experience, equal more money, and so on and so forth. It really makes a huge difference. But for me right now, I think that it would probably be a good idea, considering the factions are being kind of slow in their actions. They're being very slow in actual fact. They're taking a long time to basically take any of the towns. But once one of the towns has been taken, that is when we will make our move. And that is when we will create our own faction. And hopefully at that point, the Weaverian Dye Works that we're going to be building here is going to be, well, shall we say, has paid off its investment cost. So what I'm going to do now is, I think I might wait here. I'm not entirely sure. Usually it's a good idea to keep a couple of units over there and then take a couple of units over here too, but obviously they've already scattered around randomly, so it's maybe not the best idea, but I kind of need to help them out because these guys are pretty low level. I mean, the mercenary cavalry are absolutely fine, but there are a couple of people with us that are quite low tier. Just going to stand at, yeah, for example, that Swadian militia behind me. Yeah, he was just completely out of his depth here. And you can see here that I'm actually getting shot by this guy as well. Need to just do a little bit of strafing here and there. Then we should be able to deal with him without too many issues. There we go. And, oh, that's actually it. Okay, never mind. I was wholeheartedly assuming that we would be fighting for a lot longer, but apparently not. Okay, that is fine with me. Alright, so I'm not going to be taking anything else here. We've succeeded in the quest. I can go back in and speak to Boyar Mariga. He's going to be extremely pleased, or at least he's going to be very pleased. Well, he's just going to be pleased. Let's just say that. He's going to say, oh, thank you very much. Good work. Splendid work. Yes, great. Okay. And now we have +2 with him, and now I'm going to be able to go into the Guild Master here and actually speak to him as well. And there we go. Alright, so now we can get a Weaverian Dye Works, and as you can see, your profit will be 1,300 dinars per week, which is actually kind of amazing if you think about it. It is really, really good. And usually I would go for this almost immediately, but I was thinking to myself, you know what, I'm actually doing pretty well just sustaining myself through raiding villages alone, and I was actually anticipating creating my own faction much earlier. But the problem with that is that I just have not seen any opportunities for it. Maybe I should have gone a little bit harder against the nords. You know, maybe I should have attacked them more often and, you know, just continually try to level up my own forces and so on and so forth. Maybe that would have been a better idea in the long run. Oh, hello there. Okay, so King Yaraglek is actually offering me a vassalage. Now, as I said to you before, I personally do not want to do this because many of the times when I've created a series in Warband, I've always done the sort of standard thing. Get a good amount of renown, become a mercenary or a vassal or both, and then progress slowly toward creating your own faction. But for me specifically, right now, in this anniversary series, I would love to be able to just create my own faction straight away, and I've actually noticed a typo. That is really funny. I've never seen that ever before. Look at that. There's a typo. Has sent a royal herald to bring you an invitation. Yes, indeed. I'm going to be declining the invitation, unfortunately. Sorry, King Yaraglek. I won't be able to do that. But, yeah. That is actually a pretty cool thing, though. I love getting messages from these rulers and lieges all over the place, and they're basically saying, Barney, come and join us. We know that you are a legend in these parts. And then I go, well, I die in every single battle, so maybe not the best idea. And then they go, oh. And then they just slowly back away and then run. Yes, that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. But no, on a serious note, generally it's just because I want to create my own faction straight away. And I'm just looking for a good opportunity to do that. Because in my opinion, I think that if I were to create my own faction straight away, it's going to be a lot of fun. On the one hand, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very tense, and we might not even be able to do it. You know, we might not even be able to do it. It might be one of those times where I'm just biting off way more than I can chew, and we might very well suffer a massive setback. And if we do, then we do. And then it's just another little thing that we can enjoy in the journey of Barney, shall we say. You know, it's just a little extra thing. But otherwise, we're just going to go very quickly over here, sell all of this. I do have that extra point in inventory management now as well, so that's actually making a big difference. Heavy Corsair, I think I'm actually going to be getting that. That's really, really nice. Is it still lame? No, my other horse is not lame anymore, so that's actually super nice too. So let's just swap out one of those. There we go. And there we have it. Okay, so I'm going to make my way over to Dirim right now. The main reason why I want to do that is because I want to see what kind of status is going on there. I want to see whether the Sarranids are actually going forward with the siege. You can see here that the marshal of the Swadians, which is Count Clay at the moment, he is trying to get some people to join him for a possible defensive effort. But for me specifically, if the Sarranids actually take this, or if they go in to take this, I'm actually going to just wait here for some time. I'm just going to literally stand right next to them. I'm going to monitor the situation in real time, because I really want these guys to head in. Did they? Or did they run away? I think they might have. No, they ran. Wow, they actually ran away. I'm extremely surprised at this. I would not have expected that in a million years. I would have thought to myself, they have a pretty significant force right there. I think they had about 400, 500 units. For me, I would have just gone straight on in. If that was me, I would have gone straight on in. That would have been really, really easy to take in my opinion, but okay. They didn't want to do that. There's not much I can do about it, so yeah. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so I guess we can just continue doing our own thing. I'm going to obviously try to hunt down a couple of extra vassals. We've already shown ourselves to be able to beat someone that has about 150 units, albeit with some rather costly losses, which I would prefer to avoid in the future. So let me have a look here. This is this guy. Okay, yeah, so this guy is consistently being kind of irritating because he's always running around with these really, really small armies, and it's very difficult for me to catch up with him, so I'm not sure if I can really do that right now, but we're going to basically just go for another bit in wound treatment and first aid, and I'm now thinking that we're probably going to spec him into... I'm actually not sure, because here's the thing. On the one hand, we could go for engineer, or on the other hand, we could go for pathfinding. Or we could go for both. I don't know. We could go for both. We could basically just make him our everything, basically. He could do everything really, really good. I'm thinking maybe pathfinding, because I'd like to move faster on the map more than anything. And engineering doesn't really matter that much as long as you can get it to a decent level. So, you know, 5 or 6 is okay, but anything more than that is very, very good. So I'm thinking maybe pathfinding, or I could just turn him into kind of a beast in combat, and we could just go for weapon master and power strike. That might actually make sense too. Let's go for that instead, and then we will just put him with some points in one-handed. That seems pretty good to me, because we obviously want him to be able to defend himself. You know, we don't want him to be someone that is literally just going to stand there and let himself get murdered in every single way. So it's a really good idea to maybe give your medics a way to defend themselves at the very least. Okay, so let's have a look-see here. I am actually traveling faster than the one guy, but the other guy is a bit too fast. So I'm actually going to get rid of some recruits. Am I moving faster now? Moving at the same speed. So let's get rid of some more recruits. Don't really want to do this that much, but kind of have to at this point. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get another point in intelligence. That's going to give me another point in surgery, another point in engineering. Actually, let's go for pathfinding. Let's go for pathfinding. Because for the moment, Jeremus is still lower than us in regards to pathfinding. Don't worry about our skills, by the way. Our skills are perfectly fine. I don't really care too much about my combat skills. I would like to increase my weapon master, but as it stands, 2 in weapon master is probably going to have to be all that I can really get, because agility 6 is what I have, and it's going to be very difficult to actually increase that any further. Oh, here we go. Okay, we've got a really, really large battle on our hands here. 66 versus 127. This guy came out of nowhere, and that's the risk of increasing the speed of the game. Yeah, I remember all those times when I would run into an enemy and basically be like, oh yeah, I ran into that because I sped up the game, and yeah, that can happen so often. We need to be a bit careful of that in the future, because if this had been King Ragnar, for example, I actually ran into King Ragnar earlier, didn't obviously engage him or anything like that, because he really badly wanted to fight me, but I didn't, and he had 230 units or something like that, something crazy like that. So yeah, it's really a good idea to try and not speed your game up that much. If you're new to the game, don't use the speed up too much, because you really don't want to run into a really strong opponent that you won't be able to take on, and then you're going to end up losing your entire army. It's happened to me many times, and I wouldn't want it to happen to you. So that's just a small little, you know, shall we say, starter tip, beginner tip, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's generally a good idea to act with a lot of caution, at least in the start. And as time goes on, when you have a slightly stronger army, then obviously you're going to be able to pretty much just murder anything. Well, hopefully you would be able to do that. Oh my horse is dead. Okay. Am I dead? I am. Wow. Okay. This is actually bad. This is actually... Oh, no, never mind. He's... Whew, okay, I was really worried there for a second. I was really, really worried. Okay, thankfully, we have Jeremus with us. I actually forgot that we had him with us, because last time when I was eliminated, we didn't have him in our army. And that actually made all the difference to how much we were able to maintain our presence in the battle, because obviously first aid in Warband, it does give you back your percentage from HP. So it gives you back a certain amount of HP when you have been taken out. So you can actually go into the next fight with a little bit of HP instead of actually having to auto-resolve it. So that's really, really nice. I'm going to let these guys go just to gain back a little bit of honor rating. Don't really care too much about taking them prisoner, because, let's face it, we kind of want them to continually come back and try to fight us, because we can then just farm them repetitively and just get as much experience and money as possible. That's pretty much what we want to do. Anyway, there we go. We were able to do that. We have some more level ups as well, so let's continue to do this. There we go. We've got 20 Swadian Knights now. We might even be able to take a... just take a random town somewhere, but I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to be in a situation where I take a random town and then all of a sudden I have no units remaining. Oh, hello there. Do you want to fight? Jarl Olaf wants to fight. Okay, wait a minute. I think I should be able to achieve victory. Let's try it. Hello there, sir. I can also make peace. As you can see, I can make peace with the nords, but they hate me so much they would actually have to... they're actually asking for 28,000. So, yeah, you can make peace with people like that if you engage upon them, I believe. It's not going to work if they engage upon you. I think that's how it works. I seem to remember that's how it works. But, yeah, you're going to need the money, obviously. So if you don't have any money, it's really not going to work out too well for you. So, yeah, that's something to consider. I was actually considering that a little bit earlier on, because the only reason why they're actually asking for so much is because our relation, as far as I'm aware, is so low with them. Because we have, I believe, is it negative 50? I believe we have negative 50 with them or something along those lines. And if it was minus 7, just some random low number, you know, just minus 7 or 6 or whatever, then it would be very cheap. It would basically be 1,000 or 2,000 or something along those lines. So it really very much matters whether you launch a siege against them. That's the main reason why we're having to you know, pay so much for a peace agreement, because I launched that siege against Kelradan Castle. If I hadn't done that, I'd probably still have a probably around negative 20 or something along those lines. So yeah, it would it wouldn't be too bad, you know, it wouldn't be too bad in that case. I'd probably have to pay 10,000 or something like that, which would be pretty expensive, obviously, but it would be a lot easier than 28,000, that's for sure. So there are always those moments. I'm going to have to be really, really careful here. I cannot get eliminated again. If I get eliminated again, I don't think I'm going to be able to participate in the next round of battles, because I haven't returned to a town to fully regenerate myself, but it seems like we're actually just steamrolling because we just have so many knights at the moment, and as we know, knights are very, very strong, but obviously I'm going to be phasing them out as time goes on in this series as well, because of course we do not want to have knights all the time, but when we transition into being mostly siege worthy, so any single time we're going to be doing a siege, we really want those Nord Huskarls. We want as many Nord Huskarls as we can handle in our parties. Obviously, that very much depends on how many field battles we're doing at that point, but most of the time, if we're just going from siege to siege to siege to siege, you want as many Nord Huskarls as you can handle in your army. They're going to be the linchpin of every single action you take at that point, and they're going to be so incredibly good at taking those towns and castles. So that's definitely something that we are going to try to do, but very much, you know, transitioning into that after fighting with such a mobile army and a mobile force for so long, it's going to be a bit difficult and a bit of a jarring experience, I think, because when you're fighting a field battle with Nord Huskarls, that's the reason why the Nords are actually somewhat easy to deal with when it comes to one of the first enemies that you want to be attacking. It's because they have so little mobility. So little mobility, both on the world map as well as in the battles themselves. Because you can see here, look at what happened. We just absolutely steamrolled them. Obviously, I have some very high tier units in the battle itself, but you just have to think about most factions have some kind of cavalry, or they have really, really good archers in the case of the Rodoks. So, yeah, because Rodoks obviously have crossbowmen and they're really, really good. And they're probably going to tear apart basically any Nord army from far away, or if they generally have a far distance to run to them, then it's really going to be super damaging for them. Anyway, there we go. We actually leveled up once again. So now we're actually going to be starting to level up my strength. And we're going to go for another point in engineering. And there we have it. Okay, there we are. Fantastic. So now let's go on over to Suno, and we are going to sell all of our gear. There we go. Sell all this wonderful gear. Don't think I'm going to be getting that much from all this stuff, so I'm not sure if it's even worth me taking it, to be honest, but it seems like some of it's worth it. There we go. Yeah, we'll just sell this. There we go. And I think we're done. Yep, there we go. All right, fantastic. So that is now done. How much money do I have? I have 13,000. Obviously, with next week's wages coming up, we're probably going to be pretty happy with what we've done. We probably have a pretty decent amount coming in for us, because obviously we at that point, my weavery and dye works is going to be giving us what? Hopefully 1,300 every single week. And that's also the reason why when I actually transitioned over to Bannerlord when it first came out, and I was thinking to myself, oh yes, I will get a workshop. Yes, let me get a workshop. That's going to pay me a huge amount of money. And initially, in the first version of Bannerlord, it did. It gave you a huge amount. It could give you 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 if you got really lucky with where you built it. But then they nerfed it. Yeah, then they nerfed the entire workshop economy, and now they're basically pointless. Or at least I think they're kind of pointless. But yeah, anyway, let's just see if I can do something here. Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look at this. This is really, really good. Now, you may think, oh, look at this. You're outnumbered again. Yeah, indeed, I am outnumbered again. However, this is going to really speed us through our renown. And that's exactly what we want. We want as much renown as we can get our hands on, because that's going to increase my maximum company size. It's generally going to make me just that much better a commander, giving me more units to command and everything. It's going to make so much difference. Anyway, let me see. I think we can probably just charge on in. I really don't want to do any waiting around. Ow. Okay. Maybe I should have done some waiting around. That might have made sense. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, stopping is not good. Don't really want to stop. Thank you. Can we just kill some of these guys? There we are. Is that a Nord Huskarl? Is that a Nord Huskarl? Please don't let that be a Nord Huskarl. If that's a Nord Huskarl, then it's going to be... Oh, no, never mind, never mind. It's actually just the Lord himself. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind that at all. Because I was a bit worried if it was a Nord Huskarl, because that means that he's probably going to have multiples of them, and I don't really want to fight, you know, 6, 7 Huskarls. They're going to do so much damage. They really will. It's kind of frightening how much damage they can deal, if they get the opportunity to do so, of course. Okay, now, all I need to do is just make sure that I'm actually kind of accurate. Please, can I hit something? Really? Come on. I can easily hit these guys. Come on now. I mean, you know, that's the thing. Horseback with in Warband is really, really easy when you have a two-handed or a one-handed, but really hard if you have a spear. I don't know what's going on with that. It obviously gets revamped a little bit in Bannerlord. In Bannerlord, spear combat is really, really enjoyable and actually quite fun. Well, the slashing pole arms are more fun, in my opinion, than the thrusting ones. But the point still stands that I find two-handed combat and one-handed combat on horseback in Warband to be a lot of fun. It's great. It's very enjoyable. But in Bannerlord, it's very difficult for me. I don't know what it is. It must be the angle or something like that, because you can't really slash downward like this as easily. So the angle is kind of a bit weird, but it doesn't really matter anyway, because we've achieved victory. Fantastic. There we go. So we actually ended up losing 1 Swadian Knight and 1 Man-at-Arms, as well as 1 Cavalry. That's really not a big deal. Going to be letting these guys go once again, and we're just going to be taking the most important pieces of gear. Don't really want to weigh myself down too much. Jeremus is actually advanced in level as well, which is super, super nice for him. So we're going to get another point in, well, actually another point in... What did I spec him in before? Oh yeah, I was speccing him in combat. Yeah, so I guess what we can do is we can probably get some additional points in pathfinding, or I could just go with my plan to give him some more iron flesh and everything. Iron flesh and maybe some weapon master and things. I don't know whether it's worth it. That's the thing, because obviously if I stay at 15 intelligence with my own character, which I didn't really want to do, I wanted to increase it a little bit further, maybe get to 18 or so. But if I go for 6 in pathfinding, that's going to require 3 more levels in intelligence, maybe even 4 more levels in intelligence for Jeremus. So that might not even be worth it. Maybe it is. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, and let's see what happens. Maybe it's going to be bad. Maybe it's going to be good. I don't know. But at the moment, he's all that I can rely on. I can only rely on him because he's our only companion at the moment, which is really funny, actually, because I've been attempting to find more companions. Whenever I'm in a town, I go into the tavern and I take a look around and I don't see anyone, which is really, really weird. Don't know what's going on with that, but anyway. We have Jarl Bulba here, and he has a pretty significant army by the looks of things. I'm a little bit worried about it, because, yeah, I'm actually gonna, you know what? I'm gonna be a little bit hesitant here. I don't really want to be too hesitant, because I'd like my cavalry to just completely destroy his entire... Yeah, this is better. Here we go. This is better. This is fantastic. Look at what we are currently doing. Oh, yes. Look at that charge in. Oh, that's going to do so much damage. That is wonderful. Okay, more of this, please. There's a Huskarl. Is that a Huskarl? Yep, that is 100% a Huskarl. I've got to focus on this guy. There we go. Oh, no, never mind. It was actually just the vassal himself. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Now, see, now, here's the funny thing. Why did he decide to attack me in such an egregious manner? Why did he decide, yes, it is now time for me to attack the Beartild in combat? I don't know why he decided to do this, because now look at what has happened. He has just completely and utterly taken his men into the jaws of death, pretty much. And I have no idea why he decided to do that. He could have run from me. That's the whole point. He could have run from me, because I was actually thinking, oh, you know what? I'm going to go over to the nearby town. I'm going to see if I can find some more companions. Going to sell some things, you know, that kind of stuff. But no, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to attack us, and I was more than happy to oblige. But yeah, it's one of those times, you know? It's one of those times where it's very questionable sometimes what they decide to do, but oh well, never mind. I guess he thought with his numbers he'd be able to do something, but that strategy, I'm going to use that again, where we basically just hold position, let all our Swadian knights and our man-at-arms and any other cavalry that we have basically just line up in a big line horizontally, and then just all charge at the same time. That really makes a huge difference, because at the moment, what I've been doing recently is just letting people, and by people I'm talking about my cavalry units, I've just been letting them charge straight on in from the very start of the battle. But in my opinion, that's actually inefficient, because it makes it so that your units are not all charging at the same time. And that can make a huge, huge impact with that first initial charge. It really is so incredibly good to do that. Okay, so we're just going to leave here. Just going to take all this loot. I'm actually going to take a lot of it just so I can sell all at the nearby town, and there we go. All right, fantastic. So we've got some more people that have leveled up. Ooh, look at that. Got 31 Swadian knights now. Oh yes, that is what we like to see. And now I can head on over to Suno. Actually, I'm not even entirely sure whether they have their money back. Actually, seems like they probably don't. No, they don't. So what I'll do is I'm actually going to go over to Praven real fast. Oh, I'm being attacked. Okay. Ah, well, that's wonderful. Yeah, you can tell you're being attacked because as soon as you click on it, it's like, oh yes, we're going to take you into the streets. Okay, let's just murder this guy. He has nothing on me, thank you. Whoa, okay, this guy's got a mace. Yep, maces can knock you down really, really easily. That is the reason why I actually really enjoy using maces in Warband. It's just a lot of fun to just bash people around and they just kind of fall over. It's all very funny and everything. Okay, this guy, yep, we actually had another one. Before I actually only had to deal with 2 of them, but apparently there's a 3rd one just hiding around somewhere. Alright, there we go. And we actually leveled up from that. That is hilarious. Okay. Was not anticipating that for any reason whatsoever, but there you are. And we have over 2,000 gold to be able to get here, which is really nice too. And there we have it. Another 1,900. Let's go into the tavern, see if there are any companions around here. I might want to get the hired blade, actually. Yeah, might want to get the hired blade. Thank you. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look-see here. There we go. We can get another point in power strike. Very, very nice. And then we can continue onward. Okay, so let's take a quick look. Let's see what happens. Durham. Yeah, Durham's not being besieged or anything like that. Alright, it might very well be the case that I just need to continually, well, just fight. Just fight the nords as much as we possibly can. And then go from there. It doesn't seem as though I will be able to take advantage of any other faction, but I don't really want to jump the gun, you see. I don't want to jump the gun, because if I do that, then you know what's going to happen. Yeah, we're probably going to face some kind of defeat, and that's going to be very sad, you know. It's going to be very, very sad. So, you know what? I guess the best thing for me to do... Look at... What? Are they having a feast here? Is Harlaus here? Yeah, Harlaus is here. What do you bet? He's definitely in there somewhere. No, I'm obviously joking because he's the leader of the Swadians, but still, he is the quintessential feasting fellow, isn't he? Okay, so the Nords. Ah, here we go. Okay, this is really weird. I don't know why they would declare war against the Saranids, but okay, they are declaring war against them. That's going to be an extremely long distance for them to travel. So this gives me a good opportunity to head over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at Chalbeck Castle. Chalbeck Castle is all the way over here, very far away from the front lines. There's 179 in here. Okay, 179 is pretty good. I'm also now going to go and scout out Wurcheg too, because Wurcheg, that has a lot of nostalgia for me specifically, mostly because that was the first town that I took with the original Barney, and it was also the town that I took in the 5th anniversary series as well, because I basically wanted to, you know, prey upon the nostalgia and just go nom 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 on it, you know, that kind of thing. Very much wanted to try and hark back to those days, because it was a lot of fun, you know, it's a lot of fun to do that. Oh, hello, are you serious? You came all the way back here because I was here, or what? Are you serious, King Ragnar? What are you doing? I feel like attacking him. But I know I shouldn't. I really feel like attacking him, but I know I really should not do that. So we won't. Not for now, at least. Not for now. But it is so tempting. You have no idea. It is so tempting. I'm thinking to myself right now, oh, can I deal with 77 Nord warriors? No, probably not. No, I don't think so. Because 77 Nord warriors, that's what, tier 4 units? Even if they're tier 3, it doesn't really matter. Because they're just going to be super, super powerful with having so many of them. Actually, wait a minute. Hello? Can you come back here? Is he running from me? Oh, are you are these guys following me? Are these guys following me? This is really strange. I'm kind of weirded out right now. Okay, you really want to fight? Oh wow, yeah, you have just signed all of your death warrants. This guy with 40 units running around, he has literally just killed half of his army. Pretty much. He killed his friends' armies and all that wonderful stuff, because here's the thing, look at this. Look at what we're going to be able to do here. I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of something that's a bit different this time. So I'm basically just going to be going over here. Going to try and pull my forces over into a line like I did before, and then we're just going to be charging them from the side. Well, kind of the side, if you can call it the side, I guess. But we're just going to be trying to do this. And I'm going to try and eliminate as many of these mail-wearing enemies as I can. Hopefully not getting stopped by my own forces, of course, because that is a pretty big problem. And maybe I can just eliminate people. That's it. That's all I want to do. I just want to eliminate people. How many of them can I kill? Actually, quite a few by the looks of things. Okay, not too bad. Okay. Right. Did we win? We won that? Really? We won the initial charge? That's really, really funny. Alright. Let's actually tell my people to hold position back here now. We're losing some people, but that is to be expected, of course. And I'm just going to call my people to come back. Nice. Nice. Yes. This is exactly the reason why I'm calling them back, by the way, so I can prey upon the people that are attempting to lay in a pursuit. Including 2 Jarls. Oh yes, perfect. Now we can tell them to charge again, which is exactly what we want to do. And we want to continue eliminating these people. And there's also going to be people coming in from the reinforcements, of course. But these guys, they're not going to know what's up, because they're expecting to find our cavalry in disarray. But obviously, if I charge them back in straight away, they're not going to see that. Although, wait a minute, what's actually going on here? Why are they running all into that tree? What's actually going on here? Are you serious right now? Are you being the most serious that you have ever been? You see these guys? Okay, I'm gonna have to kill this horse. Apparently they got stuck because of something. One of them ran into the tree or something. I am absolutely gobsmacked right now. I am speechless. They are basically causing us to maybe even lose this battle now, because they have literally just decided to dismount. That really grinds my gears. Those are the kinds of situations where I think to myself, why? What possibly could they have wanted to do in there? I have no clue. Alright. No clue whatsoever, but I guess we're just going to have to make the best of it. And, I mean, we're probably still going to win, but it was... Wow, okay, my horse died. Alright. Yeah, as I say, we're probably still going to win, but no thanks to them. Let's just say that. No thanks to them one bit. I was not expecting them to do some random stuff like that, where they were just going to hide in some kind of tree and then get themselves stuck. Yeah, that was really, really harsh. Anyway, there we go. We have achieved victory. We did lose a couple of units, but I don't think that was due to the whole mess over there. At least I can hope that that was not the case. But yeah, anyway, there we go. We did end up losing some units that don't really matter too much, I guess. And otherwise, look at that. 22 renown, 29 morale. Super fantastic. And we can also now head in to the next round of battle. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Apart from the fact that they ran into that tree, of course. That was the only thing that I would change, if I could. Because I did not order them to go into that tree, that's for sure. And I was very much hoping that they wouldn't make any of those mistakes. Let's face it. I mean, who wants their army to literally run into a tree, right? That is hilarious. Okay, here we go. Can I do some more damage here? Yes, I can. I just wanna distract them, basically. I just wanna distract them for the most part. I don't really care about getting kills at the moment. I can get many, many kills in the first siege defense that we do if we, if we're actually able to, you know, capture something. But for me personally, once the first town is done, I think it's probably gonna be relatively fast to be able to take the rest, if we can actually maintain our Swedian knight population. That's the thing. So yeah, that will be the deciding factor, whether we actually get lucky. But yeah, there we go. Alright, so we're just going to take a couple of things, not too much, and look at this. This is exactly the reason why I said to you, they made a huge error by attacking us, or that one fellow made a huge error by wanting to lay in a pursuit against us. Because look at what's happening now. Look at this. Now, I don't really mind this. Look at this. I'm happy with this. Again, 243 units, actually. I'm going to just check something real fast. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine. No problem at all there. Okay, I was a bit worried for a second because I thought to myself, okay, I have a couple of people that have been knocked unconscious. I haven't really given them time to, restore themselves. I do have almost 70 units available for battle, but some of them are knocked unconscious still, of course. So I didn't really want to put them in a situation where they would be, killed instantly. So yeah, okay. This is actually a really, really bad battlefield. Yeah, this is actually a really bad battlefield. I am gonna retreat here, and I'm gonna leave because I don't want to. I don't want to actually do anything here. Can we get a different one? Oh, this is even worse. Okay. Yeah, this is even worse. Okay, let's see. I don't want to go over there. I'd like to fight here if at all possible. Yeah, I think here seems pretty decent. Anything with hills, your cavalry are just going to die. They're going to be really, really slow. And against a force that is as powerful as the nords in, infantry combat, they're going to be loving this. Actually, wait a minute. Can I take advantage of this? Maybe I can take advantage of this. This would be an okay place to fight as well. If we can charge our forces down there, all in a line, then we might do okay. Possibly. Okay. My forces are taking ages to get here as well. And that's, again, because of the hills. Because some of them are slowed, of course. Look at what's going on with these two? Are you serious right now, guys? What are you doing back there? I have no idea. I have no idea. You know that? Literally, like these kinds of situations, I just think to myself, what are they doing? It is absolutely incredible to assume that they are just messing around like that. That is... I have no clue. Oh well, never mind. This is an enemy lord, I believe, so if I can eliminate him, I will be very pleased. But maybe I won't be able to. Maybe I won't be able to. Yeah, look at my Swedian knights. Oh yeah, I think we might actually lose this. Yeah, I think we're actually going to lose this. Mostly because of the battlefield, as I said. The battlefield, in my opinion, is really, really harsh. And definitely makes things much harder than it would have to be. This guy is the enemy vassal, I believe. Yep, he completely murdered me. Alright, so I can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. I'm going to have to leave. I can actually leave again. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, it's because I killed more units than they killed of us. That was the reason why I was able to leave that. But yeah, thankfully I was able to survive. But yeah, that just shows me, okay? That just shows me, and shows you, indeed, that environment really matters. Because we were able to very easily defeat an army and indeed a force of relatively similar size. But it was only due to the fact that we had a flat battlefield with very minimal obstruction in regards to hills and, well, let's not even talk about the trees. Yeah, let's not talk about the trees. That was pretty awful, wasn't it? Anyway, let's go over to Wurcheg and actually complete the objective that I wanted to do, which was obviously to scout it out. And let's see. Okay, they're actually waiting here for some time. Technically, I could attack them right now. Let me just see what they have. Okay, 350 with very minimal of anything, basically. And we would be able to fight these guys right now and probably win. But I'm at 25% HP, and Jeremus is also relatively injured. So I'm going to wait here, and then we'll be preying upon them in the next episode, possibly. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.